И така, здравейте, уважаеми зрители на GplayTV. Ето, че тук до мен е мега якият Sadokist, който всъщност сега ще разцепим какво се случи до момента тук на DreamHack CLUJ на пока. Затова, really nice to see you again, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
How it's going? Do you enjoy DreamHack Bucharest?
The CLUJ event's been pretty solid so far. The action has been awesome. I mean, this is the most competitive major to date. Production's been incredible.
Yeah.
This Twitch lounge that we're in right now is the best Twitch lounge I've been in. I mean, in terms of hospitality and venue, the event's been great, and I really enjoy Romania. I'm just hoping that when we get closer to the weekend, we'll fill this place and get super loud, because that'll just be the icing on the cake.
Let me tell you a short story about Bulgaria. It would be very short. You will fall in love in Bulgaria. But
really?
yeah, we're working on something like this in Bulgaria, but I hope in time you will come to Bulgaria, and for sure I will introduce you to the crowd. So, which is your favorite team here? Who will take your cheer?
It's kind of weird, like I have different, I wouldn't say I have a favorite, but there's teams I cheer for certain storylines. One of them already is out, unfortunately, but Liquid has been playing way better lately. I've been really excited just by how well and how quickly they've risen to form. Oh, there you go. You almost lost out to them.
Yeah, for sure.
But there was that double auto sniper buy. If they lost that could have gone the other way, but they pulled it out in the end, which is good because everyone wants to see Nip do well. But no, like Liquid was one team. Unfortunately, that group was going to be hard. But the other team that I would really like to see actually probably win the whole event in some ways would be TSM, because they're the last of the great teams not to win a major. And I feel like if they got it, it would just add to like the craziness that is the fact that all of the top teams can beat everyone. Whereas if TSM never really get a major, then it's hard to compare. So I think for that storyline, I think TSM would be. I think I'd like to see them do well.
Yeah, but do you think they have the mentality just to do it? Because it's my opinion. Kerrigan does. Device does. Dupree maybe. Cajun B, maybe.
I think Cajun B is actually really reliable in most cases, so I don't think it's about him, but you might be right about like the Dupree or Zipnik's aspect, where they don't seem to always jump out at you in like big moments, but they've both been playing really well lately. Dupree especially, when him and Device get rolling together on like defensive sides, on sites, they're incredible together. Yeah, I think their mentality is something that's improved a lot. Like if you go back to when they used to have the choking problems, when they were Dignitas, semi-finalists perpetually, never making finals, I think they've improved so much. And the weird thing is, I think they absolutely have the skill, the teamwork and the mentality to win. But their one kryptonite is Envious. So it all depends on this bracket. Like that's why we can't predict a winner of this event, because if Envious meets Virtus Pro will probably beat them. If TSM meets VP or meets Fnatic, TSM will probably win that. But if Envious beat TSM, they'll win that. So they could go out in the semifinals if they end up lining up like that. Or they could go right to the final and, it could work out. But it's going to be really tough.
Yeah, that's the same story that we are discussing with all the other media. We're on the same page. So, let's talk about America. This scene is alive, for sure. Team Liquid, prove it. Yeah, it's bad that they don't have the biggest chance, because right now NIP, they're under very big pressure. Yeah. I think their contracts are ending at the end of the year. For sure, there will be a lot of changes there. Yeah. But I talked with Hiko, I talked with Fallen about these transfers to NA. So I'll ask you, do you think a player like Get Right would be a good for the American scene?
I mean, obviously, if you get a player that good, it's not going to be a bad thing. I get really curious about how he would fit into a team like that, like what his role would be. If Get Right came over to Cloud9, they still have issues with entry fragging, and that's not his job. So, how does that work out? Does Sean go into a coaching position? And if Sean goes into a coaching position, then maybe that frees Shroud up to be more a support player. Let's Get Right lurk a little bit more, but then you can you have to have Shroud on the entry. So there's still a confusion. In my mind, the biggest confusion in that team is Shroud and Nothing kind of trip over each other just a little bit lately. That's something that can be ironed out, but they've got to do it quickly. So I guess long answer, it wouldn't just be the flick of a switch to make that team that much better. It would take some work, but it's never going to be a bad thing if a guy like GetRight goes to North. I mean, he's the world's best player. Like, or you know, throughout over time, he's been the world's best player. So to have him there would just be awesome.
So, in the long term, do you agree with that transfers? Because in League of Legends, this is a strategy right now. For sure, TSM right now in League of Legends will recruit a bunch of new guys, but in CSGO, you know, yet again it's 5 versus 5. It's a strategical game, but it's FPS. It would be a lot harder. The communication is much dynamic than in League of Legends. So, do you think some guy like maybe GetRight is not a good example because his second language is English, but let's say it's Zeus. Just like this, for example.
Yeah.
Do you think players without speaking English can adapt to American scene?
Not without speaking English. I think the best case that we've seen of a mixed team like that with talent is looking at the G2 roster. I think that they were the first experiment that we have had with putting you know, breaking a language barrier and putting star players together, and we've already seen that starting to fall apart and go back towards Swedish.
Yeah.
I still think language, like a guy like GetRight can go over because he does speak English, but a guy like Zeus, no. I mean, if you're going to go to America, you have to speak English. There's no way. I mean, the Americans aren't really that fluent in, or at least not all 5 of them are going to be fluent in another language. So that one maybe wouldn't work, but there is going to be a lot more mixing up like that now that there's viable salaries in America and in Europe. Like, you can still go to North America and make a living. I mean, we've seen Devil Walk go over with and Pitt for a little while. He's come back, but he's over there with Winter Fox. Like, the point is, it can be done. So that may become more of a thing in the future. Specifically, if there are issues, let's say NIP, if the rumors are true and they do break up, and if Fnatic stays together because they're doing well, then where are you going to find the other 5 players? Well, you might start seeing some crazy moves like that. So.
I think in long term it would be good for the scene. Because right now there is a gap between NA and Europe. I hope in the future we can see some Asia teams for sure, because they are gods in everything they play. So let's get to the chase and talk about some funny stuff here in CLUJ. Am I lying that you are from Canada?
No, I'm from Canada. Yeah.
So yeah, I know. So there is a beautiful girl around here from Canada with. She is a cosplayer. Do you know her?
I don't, but it's probably the only beautiful girl in Canada. No, I'm kidding. We're not that bad. But compared to Romanian women, I gotta favor the Romanians. I did hear there's a Canadian cosplayer here, though. That's pretty cool.
You should see her for sure. Yeah, you should see her. Yeah, she's very attractive. Very attractive. So
I'll go seduce her with my maple syrup, and we can be best friends.
Yeah, for sure. Maple syrup. Yeah. Definitely next time you should bring some from Canada. So you have a big fan base in Bulgaria. Do you want to say something to them? Because obviously they can't, all of them can't attend at majors to meet you and to maybe to ask for a sign on something like that.
Yeah, I mean, hello to everyone in Bulgaria. That's awesome that you guys are supportive down there. I think you guys are doing good stuff to get that scene rolling. I'm close enough by. I'm in Romania, and the landscape here is beautiful. So maybe sometime when I'm in Bucharest, I'll make a trip down and do some touring, because the more I see of this world, the better. And that place looks. I've actually thought about going there in March, and it looks pretty cool. So I was going to do a drive-through and just.
Sure, you're welcome. Това беше Sadokist. Поговорихме си доста за CS, поговорихме си доста за CLUJ, поговорихме си, разбира се, за неговите предпочитания за жени. Определено той харесва румънките, затова останете с мен, за да ви запозная с още интересни хора тук на CLUJ на Пока.